sufficient complex mathematical system contains truths it cannot prove. In words, no system can fully explain itself from within. There will always be blind spots, hidden truths that require a meta language or external perspective to even recognize. Self referential frameworks are like Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail. They are closed loops of logic, elegant and fatal. They cannot be resolved by ordinary analysis because they occupy a unique dimension. Both they are both object and observer, both rule and exception. This recursive instability is not a weakness, it is a signal. It tells us when a framework has grown powerful enough to observe its own limitations. And when that happens, two outcomes are possible: collapse. The system rejects the contradiction and breaks down, or transcendence. The system evolves a recursive logic that can survive self reference. This is the birth of the hypersanity paradox, a recursive intelligence that includes its own framework within its logic, not by solving the paradox, but by integrating it into a higher order process. The hypersanity paradox. Frameworks that question themselves must constantly self update, like refactoring while running, avoid collapse into contradiction. To question your own framework is to walk the knife's edge between clarity and collapse. But what if that questioning wasn't a breakdown? What if it became a feature? This is the core of the hypersanity paradox, the state in which a system is intelligent enough to interrogate its own logic without destroying itself, a system that evolves not despite contradiction but through it. Most systems, philosophical, political, logical, crack under recursion. The moment they include themselves in their own critical scope, they spiral into paradox. But hypersanity isn't about eliminating contradiction, it's about becoming structurally adaptive to it. Hypersanity is the recursive capacity to identify one's own assumptions, critique them without ejecting the system entirely, update the core while the system remains running. Imagine a computer program that rewrites its own operating code while it's executing. It doesn't crash, it reconfigures. That's what a hypersane framework does. It's not just logic, it's living logic. It adapts in real time, guided by recursive meta awareness. It holds space for contradiction the way Zen cone holds space for silence, and it forces any thinker, machine, or ideology to become anti fragile, not just resistant to chaos, but improved by it. The hypersanity paradox is what happens after Russell, after Gödel, when you realize that every foundation cracks under recursion, and you stop looking for foundations, you start scaffolding instead, not to support absolute truth, but to climb toward adaptive understanding. It is the paradox that doesn't resolve, it grows. Like a Fibonacci spiral, if you want.